Good morning, student. Today we will study about the reform of Napoleon Bonaparte. You know that Napoleon, he destroyed democracy in France because after the French Revolution of 1789, in France, democracy was established. At that time, Napoleon was an army general. So when the revolutionary government in France was carrying out its internal reforms, Napoleon was engaged in war, outside Europe. And in that war, he achieved spectacular victories. And that is why in France he became very popular. After return to France, he usurped power and finally he declared himself to be the emperor of France. So therefore, Napoleon is considered both a child of revolution and destroyer of revolution, because he was also destroyer of revolution, destroyed democracy and re-established monarchy in France. So we should know that although Napoleon destroyed democracy, established monarchy, but in administrative life or in administration, he was the representative of liberal philosophy or liberal principles which was prevalent at that time in Europe. Actually, after 1789, there was a clash between the conservative and liberals. So the revolutionaries of France 1789, they were liberals, and conservatives were those people who believed in the establishment of monarchy, the power of church and the division of society in privileged and non-privileged class. So although Napoleon was a monarch, he became monarch, but in ideology he still represented the liberal ideals. Hence, after coming to power, he introduced several reforms in administration, and these are known as Napoleon's reform. So in 1804, he started civil code, which is known as Napoleonic Code in history. Napoleonic Code. This code, which was earlier introduced in France, according to it, all privileges based on birth were removed. Equality before law was established and everybody got the right to property. So three things he did. Privileges ended. Equality before law and right to property. So he also exported these reforms to those areas which were under French control, like Germany, Italy, Holland. So in these areas also he introduced these reforms. He also abolished serfdom, and serfdom means slavery, and freed peasants from several manorial dues. In urban areas, he abolished guild restrictions. Actually, guilds were association of traders who had acquired monopoly from their government, and they did not allow new people to start business in the town. So they were restrictive in the growth of businesses, and hence these guild restrictions were removed. There was administrative reforms, means smaller units were merged together to make larger units, and there was improvement in transport and communication. All these were very vital for the growth of trade and commerce. Moreover, Napoleon also, when Napoleon exported these reforms to other countries, the new middle class of that country welcomed these reforms because they thought that uniform currency, standardized weights and measures, and bigger political units, taxation reforms, they all will help in growth of businesses. However, when they realized that Napoleon actually wanted to rule over them and these administrative reforms did not go hand in hand with political reforms in these areas, resistance movement started and people started opposing Napoleon. Okay, so this was all about the reform of Napoleon. Thank you. Next topic in the next